Flosstube, this is Veronica with Night Stitch, and I have another stitchy update today. Today is Thursday, March 27th, and I'm back for another update. So, let's see what whips I worked on. I managed to work on all my weekly pulls. This first one is Cozy Cafe by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and I'm doing it on April Showers by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. I got tired of working on the cup in the middle with the panda, so I went down and I worked on where it says the W, it's gonna say water, and then I worked on the little stuff underneath, which is the top of a pop can. This pattern is 130 high by 168 wide, and it has 21,840 stitches total. I started it on January 18th, 2025. I worked on it for one day in March, and I put in 67 stitches. So now it has 693 stitches total. It's at 3.17%, and it has 21,147 stitches left. I set a goal on this to put 1,000 stitches in it, and I have 307 stitches left to reach that goal. My next project is Squeeze the Day. This is by Everything Cross Stitch, and it is done on 14 count white Verona, which is a dish towel. Hang on, I think I need to move my microphone because I realized that when I was holding it up and the microphone was over here, if I hold the fabric, it may do like a fabric sound near the microphone, like wind, so I was hoping that didn't happen. So hopefully my Cozy Cafe clip wasn't horrid. Here's my dish towel. I'm changing the lemon slices to a lime slice, and then the other one I'm probably gonna do an orange slice. I had been debating whether I wanted to do orange or grapefruit, but I think I want to do orange because I feel like that would be something I would use more on like a drink than I would use grapefruit. Like I would eat grapefruit, but yeah, so that was my reasoning for picking an orange slice for the one that's not there yet. So this is 42 high by 120 wide. It has 5,040 stitches. My goal is to work on the green lime slice. I put 27 stitches in since last time because I worked on it this morning and I wanted to just put a few stitches in before I filmed. So now it has 1,143 stitches. It's at 22.68%, and it has 3,897 stitches left. I also wanted to change the other lemon slices to something else because I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to stitch the same thing 3 times, because if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that I don't like stitching the same color over and over again, so that would have probably made me crazy. So I changed it so I will not go crazy. This is Museum Shelf. This is a Heaven and Earth design by Amy Stewart. I'm doing it on Wicked Night or Stormy Night. I can never remember because the two are so similar. It's the printed gray fabric from 123 Stitch. So it's plain on this side and printed on this side. This is a fat half, so it's not as big as some things could be. I ended up working down here and filling in a bunch of stuff in the red and then filling some stuff up here. Oh, and then I think I filled in a little bit over here as well. So this is 536 high by 750 wide. It has 402,000 stitches total. I worked on it for 1 day, which was yesterday. I put in 241 stitches, so it's at 1,009 stitches, and it's at 0.25% done, and it has 400,991 stitches left. And that's approximate because I did count a little bit as far as like how many stitches I'd already done before I started tracking, but that's okay. Yeah, so this is 25 count Stormy Night or Wicked Night Lugana. I think I kept the label, but it's on the printout of the floss list, which I didn't bring over here, so I'm doing this 2/1 full cross. This is one of my Whip Go projects for March. This is Christmas in the Kitchen. This is by Sue Hillis. I'm doing it on Summer Soiree by Fibrelicious. It's 32 count Lugana. I added some of the words. So I added the backstitch words, and then the C is done. The Whip Go goal for this is 650 stitches. So this is 122 high by 96 wide. It's 11,712 stitches. I put in 461. So I have 199 stitches left on my Whip Go goal. It has 1,477 stitches in it. It's at 12.61%, and it has 10,235 stitches left. My light was casting a shadow on my face. I wonder if I just like moved it, if it would quit doing that. This one is Portrait of Veronica. By Mirabilia. I'm doing this on Monster Mash. It's 32 count Lugana by Picture This Plus. And I worked up here, and I put in another strand here on her arm because I'm doing her dress and her hair and everything 2/2, and then I'm doing her arm and her face 1/1, and I didn't want to save all of that for the end because that would be a lot. Even though I like 1/1 stitching, I want a variety, so I thought I would do some over here and then some over here just so I can start working on it and getting it done. This is 254 high by 203 wide. It has 51,562 stitches total. I put in 134 stitches. It's at 2,448 stitches done. It's at 4.75%. And it has 49,114 stitches left. And my goal on it was to just put one strand in her arm and then go up on the pattern from where I was, which I have completed that goal. I was kind of getting sick of working like down because that's the page that I started on. So I thought I'd go up, and it's better now. I think with some of the Mirabilias, I like start where I'll start and then I'll work on like a certain area and then get sick of it and then not know where to go. And so then I just didn't work on them forever. So I think this weekly pull thing is really helping with my projects that I've been kind of stuck on. So this year is working out a lot better. This is my second March Whipco pull. It is Epic Storybook Princesses by Clouds Factory. I'm going to be rearranging the princesses and adding different like quotes from the movies and stuff, so it won't look like that, but that's what I have. So I'm doing it on Peacock by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. And this is a bed sheet. I've been working on the Pocahontas block, and in the movie, John Smith has a friend named Thomas, who they did not chart. So I charted him, and that is Thomas right here. I matched John Smith's height. I think he's, yeah, his hat may be one stitch taller. His hat right here. But otherwise I just used John Smith as a like example for how to chart Thomas. So with that, Pocahontas has like there's two more characters and then like a tree. And I think I'm gonna leave the tree off because I added Thomas just so it's not like everything still lines up. Because there's already a tree over here and I didn't really care that much about the other one. Plus there's also like blowing leaves and things over here, so I think it's Pocahontas-y enough. I don't need the extra tree, so. But I needed Thomas because he's one of the main, like, people that, like, moves the story along. Because, like, Pocahontas' best friend is Nakoma over here. And I was like, John Smith needs his friend, too. So, this is 397 high by 647 wide. It's 256,859 stitches. My whip goal is 500 stitches. I put in 425 stitches. I am at 16,353 stitches done. It's 6.37% done. It has 240,506 stitches left. And there are 75 stitches left to finish the whip goal. I'm going to talk about my skyline temperature chart. I did not work on it anymore this time, like this last week, but I have kept up with recording the temperatures, so I have them. This is my well-balanced life. This is the project I decided I was gonna bring to the crafters retreat for the gift exchange. So I am doing it on Chai Love You by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. So it's 105 high by 34 wide. It's by Rogue Stitchery. And that's what I have. It's 3,570 stitches total. I started it on March 17th. And it has 1,017 stitches in it now. And that's how many I put in. And it's at 28.49% and it has 2,553 stitches left. I've been working on it a little bit every day for a couple of days. And I had set some goals like finish the steam and then finish the teacup and then finish the book. So I have done all of the full crosses and half crosses because the steam and the little shadow under the book are half stitches. So now I just need to backstitch and add the words and then I'll be done with it. Sometimes I think when I put finished project as my goal, it like psychologically messes with my head and then I like think it's like this overwhelming task. But if I like break it up into like the little like finish backstitch and then finish text, then it's like it feels less overwhelming for some reason. This is group therapy. This is by dimensions. This is a kit. Oh, and I'm going to show you this little zipper pull because I made this with my cross-stitch store owner. It was like a class that she had to like stitch a little mini cross stitch and then put it inside this tiny hoop, and I turned it into a zipper pull because I have a lot of things that have zippers. So this is what group therapy looks like. I'm not doing it on the fabric that came with it. It was 14 count Aida. I'm doing it on, oh, I have the label. I didn't before. Veil of the Night 32 count Lugana by Fiberlicious. And I realized a funny thing about this project. So the words are slanted. And it's all because the R in group is diagonal instead of straight up and down. So then everything else, letter-wise, started becoming slanted a little bit. Because I had it in my Q-snap and I was like, did I put it in the Q-snap crooked? But then I realized, no, I didn't. I don't know how easy you can tell. But it's like one stitch off so that it's like crooked. Like now I feel like it doesn't look that way. So maybe you guys are looking at me like, dude, Veronica, you're crazy. But I don't know. It's fine either way. Anyway. I decided if it was crooked, it would just be like, mine is in italics instead of straight up and down. So this is 70 high by 98 wide. It has 6,860 stitches. I started it on June 3rd, 2024, and I put in 325 stitches. It has 636 stitches done. It's at 9.27%. And it has 6,224 stitches left. And my goal was to finish the word welcome, which I did. Alright, now we have my Saving Shopping Board, which is a game by Siski Stitches where you pretend to kit up a project with stitches. And then you give yourself a reward for doing so. My reward is a pattern off my Haid wish list, any one of them, because I couldn't decide which one I wanted. So there we have that. So I'm using full coverage whips, any full coverage whips that I have. If I pull it and work on it, I put it on here. And then my Haids usually have 90 colors because I get the regular size color chart, which is approximately 90 colors. Sometimes it has like 89, but I just round it up. And there's a chart and then there's fabric. And so that makes the total. Oh, so this week I worked on Museum Shelf. So this is my marker board that I use to write on camera. So I had 65 skeins last time of stitches saved up. So I put in 200 stitches on Museum Shelf. So that's 6,300 stitches left. Which will be 63 skeins left. And the total is now 9,000. And I forgot to erase this, but if you know what that is, I will be showing you my April WhipGo projects because Jessie Marie announced the WhipGo calls. So that is what we will be doing next. So we have my WhipGo board here. I'm still working on these two for March. So April is number 4 and number 10. So number 4 is Summer Sampler. So April. And number 10 was Christmas Red Wine. So April. I was all prepared and I brought this pattern book over here. This is where I keep all my paper patterns. But I was not prepared because I didn't open it and take out Summer Sampler. So I will do that here. This is Summer Sampler by Cooler Design Studio. It's designed by Sandy Orton. And summer is my favorite season, so I thought I would get this. I'm doing mine on Ocean Mist by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. When I started this, I started in the middle and I went all the way up to the top. So the star that you see is the top left. I wanted to see what 1,000 stitches looked like on this pattern, and that is what 1,000 stitches looks like. The second WhipGo project is Christmas Red Wine, and this is by Piccola Parigi on Etsy. The shop might also be called Modern X Stitch, because the shop name was different from like the order name that you get when you like you place an order and they send you an email. It was a different name in the email. So this is done on Magnolia Magic by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is what I have. So the crafting retreat is coming up April 2nd through the 8th. That's how long I'm going to be gone. And so I think I'm going to pull the WhipGo prompts today and risk the chance of like forgetting and starting them today, but I don't think I will, just because I have a lot of other stuff going on. So I'm going to separate out my prompts because they're kind of all mixed together and some of the prompts don't really work for some of the projects. So I'll do that and I'll put those in my shaker, and then I'll come back and we'll shake for the WhipGo prompts for April to see what I'm going to be doing on these two projects. For Summer Sampler, the prompt will be finish one length. So that's like when I cut off a length of floss, like a full length of floss, that'll be one length. And for those of you that don't know about the prompts, I have some prompts that are like this: finish 2 letters or numbers. But Christmas Red Wine and Summer Sampler don't have any letters or numbers, so I didn't put those prompts in there because they would be pointless. For Christmas Red Wine, the prompt will be add 0.03%. Yep, the back has a different one because the Sharpie like soaked through. But I was like thinking some of those were gonna be really crazy, especially if I pulled a HAID to try to get a HAID to 3% in a month. It's sometimes impossible. So I was like, okay, I need to like add a decimal so it doesn't do that in case. Okay, so got my red pen here, and then I'm gonna write down the prompts so that I know what they are. So Summer Sampler was gonna be finish one length. So here. And then Christmas Red Wine, I was gonna add 0.03%. Here. So this one is a lot like his cross prompt that I got, which was add 0.02%. So what I did was I calculated how many stitches that was, and that was the amount of stitches that I did to get to the WhipGo goal. So that is the WhipGo board updated. I almost thought I was gonna sneeze. I decided I'm gonna update my savings shopping grand total. Cause on here, I did it on this board to show you guys already, 9,000. But I've been updating the total on here just so I know. Cause I erase that board every week. But because this is so fun, right, Jen? It's so fun to like write stuff down on camera. It's so simple, but so fun. Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, she got me started doing this. So, 9,000 stitches total for saving shopping is left. It's exciting. Okay, trying to think, because I have some things, a little bit of something different I wanted to do today, so I'm trying to figure out when to put that in. So, I got a little excited. I was working on Museum Shelf and I was thinking to myself how much I missed that project because I have so many. And I was like, how can I get more progress done on things like Museum Shelf that I miss a lot? How can I word it? It's like I only pull 5 whips and they're not always guaranteed to be like a full coverage in there. And so I was like, what if I separated my full coverage out and just pulled from full coverage as well so that I always have a full coverage? But then I was also like, okay, but how is that different from me just adding another project onto something that I've like onto the stuff I already have? Because it's not different. And then I thought, wait, I'm not doing the temperature game that Jen the Caffeinated Crafter based her game off of Siski's temperature game. I'm not doing that yet. And I was like, I could totally do that with my full coverage stuff. So, Jen, you got your wish. I think earlier she had said you'd commented that you'd like waited for me to get sucked into like temperature and Monopoly. And I've already told you guys that I'm going to do Monopoly. Well, I'm going to do temperature stitching too. I'm going to do it a little bit differently though. So, I'm going to erase this board and write some basic stuff about my temperature thing that I'm going to do, and then I'll come back and tell you guys about it. This is my temperature game. So, I'm doing what's similar to Jen is I'm going to take the last digit of whatever the temperature is. That's the only thing that's the same. So, what I'm going to do is I've separated out my full coverage papers and I've put them in, I'm going to put them in the shaker and then I'm going to pull one. So every week from Thursday to Thursday, kind of like my Flosstube week, so not like a Sunday through Sunday week, but every Flosstube week I'm going to pull one full coverage project, and then I'm going to look at the wind chills, so like what it feels like temperature, like what I've been doing with my skyline temperature. What I'm recording is I'm recording what it feels like. So in Iowa we have a lot of wind, and so when the wind blows in the wintertime it can make the temperature feel like 10-20 degrees colder than it actually is. So I put that temperature down because that's how it actually feels outside. And also in Iowa we get the extreme opposite end of the heat index, so sometimes it can feel like it's like 100 when it's like 80. So that's my temperature numbers that I'm going to go off of, and it's just going to be one project. So how I've divided it up is if it's 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, I will put in 50 stitches for that day on the one full coverage that I pulled. And if the temperature is 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, like the last digit, I will put in 100 stitches for that day. And I figured this way I can work on a full coverage like more consistently. Like I can I guess touch, I don't know, I feel really weird when people are like I touch my projects. I don't know, like I get it, like I'm touching this board right now, but I'm just saying like it'll give me a chance to consistently work on a full coverage project instead of just waiting for it to be randomly pulled, because sometimes it doesn't. And I love those things and I want to work on them. I'm not super concerned about like finishing one in my lifetime or something like that because I have a lot of them. But I still want to work on it. So that's my attempt to do that. So the stitch counts are low, that way I can just put in a few every day, because I'll be working on it every day. And so because I hate working on things every day, the stitch counts are low, that way I can do it and get it out of the way, and then I'll have stitches put in, and then by the end of the week I will have put in like quite a few, because every day it'll at least get 50 or 100. So, and then if you multiply that by 7 days, that's a lot of stitches. So I figured I could get like a bunch of stitches put in on like my full coverages, and that'll be awesome. So that's what my plans are for this. So what we are going to do now is I have separated my full coverage, so I'm going to throw them in the shaker, and we're going to shake for the full coverage for this week. Harris. Okay. Now I'm gonna shake, or I'm gonna come back after I put like my other whips that are not full coverage in the shaker, and we'll pull 5 of those. Whip number 1 is Courage. Whip number 2 is Fall Sweet Fall. Whip number 3 is Post Nap. Number 4, Laundry Day. I'm smiling because these are all like, well, not all, but those 2 are like those really small ones that I can like, that I'm trying to get off my pattern list, just because then I can like have less. But who are we kidding? We know I just buy more, so it's not really going to be less anyway, so whatever. But the accomplishment of getting it off my pattern list is what I'm going for. The last whip is Dragon. Okay. I'm going to get those projects and I shall return. This one is Dragon. This is by Author Embroid Design on Etsy. I'm doing this on a Dance of Autumn. It's 32 count Lugana by Fiberlicious. This one is Laundry Day by Spruce Craft Co. I'm doing it on French Roast by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is Post Snap. This is also by Spruce Craft Co. I'm doing this one on Singing in the Rain by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is Fall Sweet Fall by Calico Confectionery, and I'm doing it on Elpis by Fiberlicious. It's 32 count Lugana. This is Paris by Riolis. I'm using the Kit Ada because the background is border is printed on there, so I wanted to use it. This is my temperature piece. And this is Courage. This is a pattern I designed. I have it for sale on my Etsy shop. I'm doing it on Cafe Misto by Fiberlicious. It's 28 count Opal Lugana. And I have this. Those are my whips and my temperature piece. It's one thing I wanted to show you. Since I was talking about my Etsy shop, I have this needle minder that I made. It's a Coca-Cola bottle cap, and it has the ingredients of Coca-Cola on there. It's flared out. So I've tested it. It doesn't touch your fabric at all. There's a significant amount of you can even see it's kind of raised. So I have those. I have 10, I think, up on the shop. So I don't know where to put it. That's a new addition I thought I'd share with you. We can pull my new starts now. Mirabilia Australian Mermaid. Frozen Elsa. I'm pretty sure I need fabric for this, so I'm gonna pull again because I need 25 count, which I don't usually have a whole lot of in the stash. So this will replace Frozen Elsa. which is unfortunate because I like that pattern. Medieval banner. I wear black to the gym. Hang in there, Santa. One more. Lord grant me. I think all of these are digital, so give me a second and I will find them, and then you can see all of them. Okay, Mirabilia Australian Mermaid is a pattern from Mirabilia's website, and it is free. I think it was the it says 2017 on there. So they had a retreat in Australia, and that was the retreat pattern they have for free. I pulled this once before. My computer's over here today. I wear black to the gym is a pattern I got from Nerdy Little Stitcher on Etsy. I haven't checked if she's still there. I would assume she probably is. It says I wear black to the gym because it is like a funeral for my fat. I thought that was hilarious. This one is Lord Grant Me. This is by Mo Sale. It is, it says, Lord grant me coffee to change the things I can, and wine to accept the things I can't. And this is the medieval banner. This is from Daily Cross Stitch. And this is Hang in There, Santa. This is by Daily Cross Stitch, and it's just Santa hanging from some Christmas lights on a tree branch because maybe he fell or something and he's hanging on. Okay. I think that's all that I have today. Yeah, so thank you everybody for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!